Welcome to this week's edition of HawkTalk. My name is Parker Robinson. I'm joined by Seth Morkirky. And this week we're celebrating our national championship appearances coming up for the winter sports. We got the 5 guys from wrestling. We got a handful from track and field from the indoor side. Exciting time for Dickinson State. And it seems like every time this time of year rolls around, we got people representing at the national level.
Yeah, I think DSU does a great job in all of their sports, from fall all the way to spring. But the winter time, it's a long season for most of the kids, and so to get to the national level is really, really incredible for them.
Yeah, in track and field, we got Rodney Henry at the 800-meter, Ty Stanton in the triple jump, Cleet Rosinski, had him on a couple weeks ago in the heptathlon. And then the women's 4x4, we got Peyton, Lisa Townsend, J.C. Wilson, and Bailey Smith, and then Abby Honeymoon on the 60-meter hurdles. Not only, a pretty big group, but people who have been there before, whether it be in track, crossing country, whatever it may be. So they have some experience being there before. As someone who's been to nationals in football back-to-back years, how big is that experience, having been there before and going the second time feeling a little more composed?
Yeah, it's a total difference. It's still the same thing, still football, still track for them. But to go there one year, we were all wide-eyed and wow, look at this experience, and here we are. And the second year, it was kind of like, oh, we've been here before. It's a business trip. Let's come here and get something done. Let's make a shot. Let's go for something here. So I think that really helps.
Yeah, so they'll definitely have experience going in there. You can definitely watch that on Flow Track. They'll have a full stream, full statistics on everything going on there down in Pittsburgh, Kansas this weekend. And then the 5 guys we'll talk to a little later in this show, Ruby, Gresh, Mullins, Johnson, and Casey Jones. A good group of guys. Yeah. And as we've talked about in previous episodes, and we'll talk about a little bit later, a young group. A lot of exciting things. What are you most looking forward to in this final stretch of winter sports?
Oh man, it'll just be exciting to see how they perform at the national level. You get there and you don't really know, but I think our group, both track and field and wrestling, wrestling's a young team, track has a few young kids, but I think they're definitely ready, and they're an impressive group of kids, and so that'll be really great to see how they perform, believing that they're going to do really well.
Yeah, that wrestling will be available on ESPN3. Also track wrestling with, the regular bracket and streaming along with that. So a lot of good ways to keep up with our wrestling and track athletes on the road. This past week, our basketball team fell, kind of a heartbreaking game to Mayville State down in Bellevue, but, heck of a season, heck of a first season for Coach Vaughn.
Yep.
We were there every home game. What'd you see from the team as they kind of went throughout this year?
Yeah, we had talked to the team. We had talked, at the beginning and towards the end, how it had progressed. And I think at the beginning they were still figuring things out. They're still meshing. I think the team had that chemistry, but it really increased towards the end of the year. And it was great to see that group of guys really come together, play for something greater, and play for the next thing, the next game, the conference tournament, and even in that conference championship game, it was a hard-fought game. Multiple contributors, Marcus and Terrell, both had great games, offensive-wise, and so that was really great to see.
Yeah, and you can't but feel bad for this group of seniors, these group of guys that really put it all out there for the last 2 years. Fell just short last year, fell just short this year, and it seemed like they were right there all year. And so Marcus, like you mentioned, Terrell, Devin, Ryan Clark, great careers as Blue Hawks. Marcus reaching the 1,000-point mark. Watching him, really unstoppable for us. What did you think about his play?
Yeah, I was watching at one point, and the announcers had said, there's nothing you can do on this play. He just a little turnaround jumper and off the backboard, and the guy was in great position. And it's just those little things. It seems like he gets fouled every single time he drives in the lane, but he finishes every time, and that's something that I think a lot of it'll be interesting to see who we get next year, to see if we can find a guy who can finish like that, who can drive like that, make plays, shoot threes whenever.
Yeah, absolutely. Losing a bunch, Coach Vaughn will have the ability to go and build his own team next year. So we're definitely keep an eye on that throughout the spring and into the summer, how that progresses. But the way things ended at Scott Gym last week, great environment. We gave out, I think, like a couple $100 worth of prizes plus the Apple Watch,
some shirts,
shirts, food, whatever it may be. So thank you to everyone who came out to Scott Gym last week and experienced that in that opening round of the tournament. We almost ended up hosting the Final Four, which would have been fun.
Yeah.
But to kind of wrap things up, Winter Olympics just finished. What Olympic sport would you see yourself being the best at? And which would you not touch? Would you not even go out there and do?
Goodness, I was thinking maybe the long or the speed skating, but it's not the speed skating. It's the really long one. That's probably the one I would not touch. I'm not the greatest skier or skater. Started my freshman year of college, first time I ever skated, and I just don't think I can last that long. But the one I would want to do, man, there was like a team downhill skiing where they, it was just a quick little run, and I thought that it was a mixture of male and female team, and I thought that would be, a really fun environment to race side by side someone, but have a mixture of teammates.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I think the thing I would not touch, would not go close to, is the ski jump.
Yeah.
Like the really far one. I don't think I have the coordination.
Yeah.
I've skied before and I can ski, but I don't think I can do that. And because of that, I think the flat ground, like Nordic style skiing would be best for me, keeping me, a lot of cardio, but not risking injury. Being landlocked. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I agree.
So, when we come back from the commercial, you sat down with some special guys. Talk a little bit about that group and how you think they're going to head into nationals.
Yeah, it was a great time to spend with those guys. You'll see it here in a minute. But they, nothing but best wishes for them. They're a really humble group, but you can see it in their eyes. You can see it on their faces. They're ready. They're determined for something great for this weekend. They're determined, to go out and make a mark, to let people see who Dickinson State is, and even if they are a young team, it doesn't matter. And so, the future's bright for these guys.
Absolutely. So after this break, we'll be over at Weinbergen Gym talking to the wrestling team, and following that, make sure to stick around for February's edition of Minute with Mitzel.
Welcome to a special edition of HawkTalk. We're on site today at the DSU location, sitting in the wrestling locker room with 5 of our people who are wrestlers who are headed to the national tournament. I'm going to have them introduce themselves for us.
I'm Matt Ruby, 125s.
Cody Johnson, 197.
Chris Jones, 133.
Casey Jones, heavyweight.
Jamie Mullins at 141.
That's right, and all these guys are kind of going to be the face of DSU for us, representing at the national tournament. There's quite a few schools there. Gresh, I know we talked to you before the Tyler Plummer, and there was a little unexpectancy, of what the season was going to turn out. So maybe talk about, since the Tyler Plummer, what's happened for the team, what's happened for you, and then we'll get around to these other guys.
Yeah, since the Tyler Plummer, we've come a long way. We've had a lot of duels, a lot of ups and downs, but coach is starting to peak us at the right time, and it showed at the regional tournament. The top 2 teams, Grandview and Missouri Valley, we ended up taking 3rd behind them, and those are the top 2 teams in all of the NAIA. So that was a good little start, and we had a hard week of training this week, and next week we leave Wednesday. So Monday and Tuesday will be pretty good. Getting some weight off and just kind of refocusing, focusing on fine-tuning some things and getting down to weight and feeling good for the tournament. We leave Wednesday, get there around mid-Thursday, wrestle Friday and Saturday, and hopefully we do pretty dang good.
Yeah. That's right. They're gonna have a busy week next week. Nothing new for you guys. You guys are all used to that. I know Gresh and Cody, you guys
have competed at national levels. Cody, I know you guys have a young team this year. That's kind of been the story of your guys' team. It's a young team, but you guys have a lot of heart. So talk about what being a young team has meant to you guys, how it's you face the adversity together, how you've grown through it, and what you guys see in the future.
Well, being a young team, I mean, like, obviously, there's not really like going to be an older class. There's one older classman, but I mean, we don't have like a ton of older guys like we have the last few years with that class to kind of mentor us and take care of us and make us better that way. But this year, who's really done a good job is Gresh, I think, just because I mean he's like one of the best leaders on the team, and it doesn't matter how old he is, but just pushing each other, honestly. I mean, in the room every day there's plenty of guys that work hard and just as hard enough to be in the same position we're in. So
yeah, that's right. Casey, you came in at this semester, so you can kind of have a different view than these guys, and you came into the Blue Hawk family, came into the Blue Hawk wrestling family. What's that experience been like, just this first semester here?
It's been good. I didn't know what to expect at first, but with Coach Select, he's really intense in practice and everything else, pretty much. So I like him as a coach, and when I came in, I didn't know what to expect, but the team works really hard, and I'm used to that from my old college, so I really liked it here.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you heard a little bit about this season, about the upcoming tournament for him, the national tournament. For part of this special segment, we want to do something fun with these guys. So we got a few questions here. I'm going to start with Matthew. Most listened to song on your playlist. If you had to think, the most listened to song across all of your playlists. I know you listen to a lot of music probably, but what's the number one song?
Probably Cropped Out by TNT Tez.
Okay. Is that the song that kind of gets you going right before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question, but you
Pump
answered
up
it for
song.
me. The pump up song for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Cody, got a special one for you here. Your best Select impersonation. Off the top of your head. Here we go. I'll let you hold the mic.
Awesome.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines that he always says, he throws up a caution for when you're doing something that is just not ideal in his mind.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you have it. That's a good impersonation. I would like to see more, but we got the gist of it. Let's see. We'll go to Jamie. Jamie, your superpower, if you had to pick a superpower, I know Gresh has an interesting one, shapeshifter. What would be your superpower if you had to pick one?
That's a good question. I don't know. There's so many, good superpowers out there, and I don't want to cheat and be like the guy, that can give superpowers to people so you can have all superpowers. I gotta say, out of all of them, probably flight, just because you go anywhere you want to go, do anything you want to do. You go hang out in the clouds if you wanted, do some cool stuff. So that'd probably be mine.
That's a good superpower. I think I'd like to be able to fly too. Casey, we're gonna go to you, the heavyweight. I know Gresh has kind of got known for being the best dressed. Is that your opinion too? Give us your best dress and your worst dress. We need both of them.
Best dress, yeah, might be him or a couple others, maybe Matt, on other days. But worst dress is definitely Devin Williams. If you see him, you'll understand.
Well, there you go. And we got one more. Gresh Jones, your celeb crush for us.
This one's pretty easy. Ever since I was little, I've had a huge crush on Emma Watson, a.k.a. Hermione Granger,
That's right.
from anywhere from Deathly Hallows Part 2 all the way to the first one, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, any one of those.
That's right. Growing up with the Harry Potter series, I know exactly what you mean. Well, that does it for our special edition. I'm going to let Matthew kind of finish it out for us, Matthew and Jamie both. Just say one more thing about what you're expecting about this tournament and how it's going to impact you.
Hoping to be an All-American after it. Get it done early. Try to get back here and celebrate.
And Jamie, you kind of got a different situation. You got that last bid into the tournament. So what's the feeling for you going into the tournament?
I mean, my weight class is pretty tough, so I think whoever steps into the national tournament, they've always got a shot. And I mean, I'm gonna go up there, and I'm gonna do what everybody else is gonna do. We're all gonna knock heads and see what happens, and go have some fun.
Well, we've had an exciting year with the wrestling team, a great bunch of guys, a great bunch of wrestlers. They all work hard. This wrestling team is top notch. I see them working out there every day. So it's going to be a great tournament for them. We're excited to hear how you do. Keep it up on BlueHawks.com. Till then, Hawks are up.
Hello, Dickinson family, and welcome to A Minute with Mitzel. After an above-average fall with respect to temperature, winter finally settled in nicely to help deliver the region's coldest recorded average for the month of February. Taking our weather in stride, breathing in the crisp air reminded us that it was a perfect time to host the second annual Dickinson State University fishing competition at Patterson Lake. A small but enthusiastic group gathered on the below-zero morning to try to bring home the largest catch of the day. I can say the fishing was fun, although the trophy catch was a 5-inch perch. For those of you wishing to break the 2018 DSU competition record, you're most cordially invited to join us again next year. The City of Dickinson wishes to join in the festivities and expand the day to events beyond fishing, getting as much of the community involved as possible. I'm already looking forward to the 3rd annual event. The Heritage Foundation recently sponsored an alumni gathering in Mesa, Arizona. The get-together was held for the 2nd time, and the turnout was larger this year than last. We had a great day of golfing with our Arizona Blue Hawk family and spent the evening participating in a social that allowed for us to share stories, catch up on all things DSU, and lie about our golf scores. I thank the Heritage Foundation for arranging this outreach event and helping all of us strengthen our connections with the amazing Blue Hawk alumni. You may have noticed construction work and construction vehicles on the campus over the past several months. Working with UNESCO Corporation and the university system, DSU is focusing on improvements for the life safety issues and to reduce deferred maintenance within the building structures. One of the major projects will be replacement of the May Hall HVAC system, which has already begun. The bulk of the work, however, will occur over the summer months. We will also be updating DeLong Hall and will complete renovations on Woods Hall for the start of the 2018 fall semester. We thank you for your patience during this time. Our winter athletic teams have finished their schedule as we begin to look forward to spring sports. I'd like to congratulate the men's basketball team as it qualified for the North Star Athletic Association Championship game, the winner of which will qualify for the NAIA National Tournament in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I would also like to congratulate our wrestling and track and field athletes for an outstanding year, sending multiple students to the national tournaments. We wish them all luck. On March 8th, DSU will host the Ondakosa Japanese Drummers as part of World Fest. This is the 2nd group to visit Dickinson area, following Sophie and the Bilotis in the fall of 2017. You'll want to be sure to be a part of this wonderful cultural experience. Chancellor Mark Hagrott will be visiting the Blue Hawk campus on Monday, March 5th. We have an entire day of events scheduled for the Chancellor, including an update of the campus, discussion about potential 2+2 programming, and talks with the faculty and staff. The community is invited to join us for an open forum. Spring is going to be upon us quickly, with the awakening of nature and the blooming of new life and projects. Thank you, DSU family, for your support and guidance. And until next time, go Blue Hawks!